Don't attempt to mess with the rabbit ears on top of your television. There's nothing wrong with the picture. See, today we're going to go inside of the courtroom so we can hear directly from the people involved with this conspiracy and this cover up so that you can judge for yourself. Now, the LAPD has probably framed thousands of people. Many of your loved ones may have been done exactly like they did me. And all of this information we're going to put out. I'm not going to chase no attorneys to have them to come look at what we have. The fact is that we have something that's bigger than the George Floyd murder. In fact, there's going to be thousands of lives and many different jobs are going to be affected based upon what these people have done. So it's not going to be that long. I'll break it in about 3 different sections, good 10 minutes each, and just relax. It's coming straight to you from their mouths. Gary Aspinall, called as a witness by the people, was sworn and testified as follows. The clerk, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? The witness, I do. The clerk, thank you. Please be seated. State your name and spell it for the record. The witness, Gary Aspinall, Garyaspinall. The court, you may proceed. Direct examination by Ms. Bushling. This is the district attorney. Question, sir, what is your occupation and assignment? Answer, I am a police officer for the city of Los Angeles assigned to South Bureau Crash and LAPD gang unit. How long have you been a police officer? Answer, I have been a police officer for 10.5 years. Question, how long have you been assigned to the crash unit? Answer, since March of 1985. Question, now directing your attention to January of 1990, were you investigating the shooting that occurred at the Quick and Split Burger Shop at 91st and Central that occurred in December of '89? Answer, yes, I was. Question, did you speak with an individual by the name of Bobby Taylor? Answer, yes, I did. Question, and did Bobby Taylor have any other names? Answer, he's known as B-Rat out in the streets. Question, when was the first time you spoke with Bobby Taylor? Answer, I first met Bobby probably 6 to 9 months ago, roughly springtime of 1989. Question, and with respect to the shooting in December of 1989 at the Quick and Split, did that involve Bobby Taylor? Yes, it did. Question, and did you speak to Bobby Taylor about that? Answer, yes, I did. Question, and do you remember when that occurred? Answer, I believe it was January 4th of 1990. Question, do you remember where that took place? Answer, I believe it was off of Wadsworth and either 88th or 89th Street, right throughout in that neighborhood. Question, so you talked with him on the streets, is that correct? Answer, yes. Question, what did he tell you, if anything, about a shooting that occurred on December 28th, 1989? Answer, that day I was driving through the neighborhood and saw Bobby, and being acquainted with him, and he with I asked him how he was doing and what was going on. He told me that he had been shot, and I asked, question, did he say where he was shot? Answer, yes, he did. I asked him where. He said in his buttocks. Question, what happened then? Answer: I asked him to show me, and he dropped his pants partially and showed me the wound. Question: did he indicate if he knew anything about that shooting? Answer: I asked him, who shot you? Which means, which person shot you and which gang shot you? Question: why did you ask him that? Answer: through my experience working the street, gangs in South Central, I find that people who are shot, especially a gang member who was shot, will frequently know who shot him. Question: when you say gang member, was Bobby Taylor or is Bobby Taylor a gang member? Answer: yes, he is. Question: what gang is he a member? Answer: he belongs to the 89th Street Family Bloods. Question: what, if anything, did he say about the shooting when you asked him? Answer: when I asked him who shot him, he said Thumper from 9-7. Question: 9-7 meaning what? Answer: he was referring to 97th Street East Coast Crips. Question: did you later speak with? Did he say anything else at that time about that shooting? Answer: I asked him if it's okay and what was he wanted to do with it. I asked if he made a report with the intent of making a report before one had been made. He said a report had already been taken. Question: what did you do next with respect to that investigation? Answer: I obtained a copy of that report and I located photos of the defendant Walker. Question: you are indicating someone in court today? Answer: yes. Next to counsel in the green striped shirt. Miss Bushling: the defendant, Mr. Walker, Your Honor. The court: yes. Question by Miss Bushling: and what did you do after you obtained the photographs? Answer: I contacted Bobby again and I showed him the photo display. Question: did you read him anything or did you say anything about that photo display before talking to him? Answer: yes, I did. Question: what did you do? Answer: I read him the admonition as read by Sergeant Larkin. Miss Bushling: may I approach, please? The court: yes. Question by Miss Bushling: showing you People's 14 and People's 25, do you recognize either one of those two photo displays? Answer: yes, I do. Question: which one or ones? Answer: I recognize People's 14. Question: and is People's 14 the photo display you showed Bobby Taylor? Answer: yes, it is. Question: and on the back of People's 14, there is an admonition. Is that correct? Answer: yes, there is. Question: and is that the same admonition that Detective Larkin or Sergeant Larkin just testified to? Answer: yes, it is. Question: and you read it verbatim? Answer: yes, I did. Question: what did Bobby Taylor say, if anything, about that photo display in People's 14? Answer: he identified the photo in position number 6 as Thumper and as the individual who shot him at the Quick and Split burger scene. Question: whose photograph is position number 6? Answer: that is a photograph of Defendant Walker. Question: you compiled that photographic lineup? Answer: yes, I did. Question: do you have any information as to whether or not Joe King is a member of a gang or was a member of a gang? Answer: the information I have as to whether or not Joe King is or was a gang member of a gang is the information Joe gave me. He told me at one time he was a Compton Pyru, which is a blood gang out of Compton. Do you recall having been asked that question and giving that answer? Answer, no, I don't. Question, is it your testimony today, to the best of your knowledge, Joe King never told you that he was a blood gang member? Answer, when I asked him recently within the past week, he said he had not been. How about when you asked him a year ago? I don't recall what he said a year ago. He more than likely did say that if he did testify to that back, it was in the back to that back in May of 1990. Question, now directing your attention to the defendant in this case, are you familiar with him? Answer, yes. Question, now do you know what his name is? Yes. Question, what is that? Answer, Eddie Walker. Question, do you know if he goes by a nickname? Answer, yes. Question, what is that? Answer, Thumper. Mr. Jennings, no further questions at this time. The court. Cross. By Mr. Porter. Did you talk with Eddie Walker after or during the month of February 1990? Do you recall whether or not you talked with him? I don't recall if I spoke with Eddie during the month of February. I did speak with him during the month of January. And question, when were you assigned as investigative officer on this case, or are you? Early part of January. Question, after the point you were assigned to investigate the case, do you recall whether or not you had a conversation with Mr. Walker? Answer, yes, I did, at least one. Question, at that point, did you form any opinion as to whether or not he was involved in the shooting? Answer, at the point I had the conversation? Question, yes, sir. Answer, I formed the opinion that it was likely he was involved due to the fact that Eddie admitted his moniker was Thumper, and I already knew the suspect was known as Thumper. As far as that goes, I formed that opinion at the time I had the conversation. This concludes the testimony of Detective Aspinall. The next testimony will be by Bobby Taylor, or B-Rat from 8-9 Family Swans, but that will be in the next episode. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and give this a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down, but there's more to come.